Hey guys, welcome back to Passion Fruit, and today I'm talking about chapter 1003 of One Piece. And oh boy, it's a doozer. I didn't do a review of last week's chapter because I'm a lazy fuck. I wish I did. It was short and sweet though. What really happened was just the whole Zoro Enma situation that everyone talked about, and I mean, Luffy greatness that continued right into this chapter. We ended going right where we started. What? Did that make sense? No, it didn't. This chapter started with where it left off. That is what I was trying to say. And it was phenomenal. Luffy went Gatlin on Kaido. He just punched him everywhere, and it resulted in just one big hit right to the ground. And it it was hype. It was hype. I'm getting a little ahead of myself because there's the cover page with Reiju and a simpin scorpion that's asking for her out on a date or something. I don't know. I didn't really get it. It was a very derpy simpin scorpion, which is I think just now what everyone who likes Reiju the most, like Reiju's your waifu, then you are technically now called a derpy scorpion. Um, in my canon. All right, back to where we were. Luffy knocking down Kaido straight into the ground, and again, basically, he's done that like multiple times now. um, but this time, it definitely felt like something different. Everyone was shooketh. There was shooketh going on with Big Mom, Kid. Like people knew that this was like, whoa, demonstration of pure power. Um, Stated later on when unfortunately Luffy is blown away. He used up all his hockey in Gear Fourth already. Uh, yeah, already it happened way too fast, and I feel like it kind of sucks a little bit that how quickly we went. But especially since I have the vibe that like now it's gonna take way too long for him to get his 10 minutes to pass. But that's okay, whatever. Um, but yeah, everyone was shook by this display, and but it resulted in him being out for 10 minutes with no hockey being able to be used. So be interesting to see what is the result of that. I don't know why. For some reason, this is the chapter that I was just kind of like. I had this thing where like we're fighting Big Mom and Kaido right now. Like I knew that it's been like what 3 chapters at this point. But this chapter really was like, whoa, we're just like fighting them, like whoever to the death, basically that was stated in the chapter before. Like whoever wins this battle, and the series changes forever. What the results are, and it's wild. It's genuinely wild that we're fighting Big Mom and Kaido right now. It's kind of surreal. Um, we are fighting. They are. Oh man. Yeah, but that's currently happening, and I think that's real crazy. So when Luffy's knocked out with his hockey for a moment, Zoro comes and saves him from Big Mom that comes out of nowhere, ready to slash um, Luffy, and but Zoro gets him out of the way, and then boom, Trafalgar de Waterloo comes out of nowhere, stabs Big Mom, and it looked like it really hurt. She screamed in pain, I guess. So big hype Law moment right there. Yeah, it was really cool to see Law really land a good hit in before Kid really. Kid has not landed a good hit in yet, and I'm gonna call him out for it. Kid, where the fuck is going on? I feel like Killer's done more at this point than Kid, which I think is really funny. I think that the problem with that, I think what's gonna happen is Kid's gonna die. Kid's gonna die. If Kid doesn't die, then okay, whatever. But I have a theory that Kid's gonna die, and we're gonna get a chapter later on, maybe not next chapter or the next 2 chapters, but later on in the middle of this fight, where Kid basically not really sacrifices himself, but goes all out. He puts all his like effort into it, and we're gonna have a kid-centric chapter. He's probably gonna be named Kid or whatever. His Eustace Kid. And we're gonna have like a big kid and he's gonna go like fucking all out. He might not die by going all out, but he's just gonna go all out. I think that's inevitable. We really need to like Killer's done more at this point, which is kind of crazy in these past two chapters. Killer, I feel like, has had more feats during this battle. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what Kid does. We're fighting two Yonko, so we're going right back into it. Kaido swarmed back up, and he's like, "Alright, that hurt, but ready for Dragon Twister." And that Dragon Twister panel with Kaido, it was fucking phenomenal. I love it. Just beautiful art from Oda there. It was great how he did that. Like, just the twisters and just the detail on Kaido in that panel is like what's the most remarkable part of that. It's beautiful. I love that panel with Kaido and the Dragon Twister. It was pretty fucking pog, I'm not gonna lie. The Dragon Twister leads to Zoro being caught off guard and dropping the ball, kind of, or dropping Luffy. And Luffy gets soared by the Twister, and Kaido just nonchalantly flies right there and just munches him. It's just a good old munch of Luffy, which I think is really funny that you just, I'll just eat him real quick. It's interesting that he decided to do that out of all things. You could have just blasted him with something, or like he's basically defenseless, so eating him is an interesting go-to. But then Zoro has this hype moment of this chapter, and he calls upon Enma once again, and this time Kaido realizes that it is Enma. This is Kaido Odin's sword, and he's like, no wonder that was so effective. I think that's what's kind of he's basically saying throughout that. He whips out the Enma, and he does his I don't know. It's some weird word that I don't want to try to say because I know I'm going to mess it up. And then Dragon Twister. So he gives basically Kaido his own piece of his medicine, which I think is really funny, and it cuts Kaido through the scales, which I think is like, it seems like since how much they hyped up how like buffed up his scales are throughout the past couple chapters, it's been a while since they've been like, it's very difficult to cut through them. It's interesting that like Zoro did it just then with the Dragon Twister, but I guess, I mean, he had more like emotion behind that attack because he had to save his captain that was currently being eaten. I think that's the case to why he was able to finally cut through the scales. But that was sick. Maybe happened a little too soon. Maybe not. I guess it's like we've been fighting them for 3 chapters now, and like they have been like, Kaido hasn't even been cut through. So, I wonder if the effects of the fight from the 10 scabbards will play at all in this battle, because like they really sacrificed everything, and literally it not affecting Kaido at all is kind of like disheartening. I really hope that like we get later on like, ooh, maybe I'm like feeling the pain from that battle before, and that's why I'm not we'll see. Hopefully, but there's a very good chance that won't be the case. I really hope that somehow Oda fits in that scabbard battle really affected Kaido later on. That would be nice. Alright, this chapter is not all just battling. At the top of Onigashima, we get a little quick interlude. Firstly, I saw Orochi's head, and I was like, oh no. No way we're going from this hype battle to, oh no, Orochi's still alive. Quite the opposite, in fact. I feel like this chapter, maybe it still could be the case that he's still alive, but really confirmed that he's dead. Because CP0 is like, oh man, our traitor is dead. They literally say that. And they're not dumb people. They're very smart, actually. They're secret intelligence. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, he's dead. So CP0 is here. Phenomenal. I love that they're there. CP0 are like such an interesting faction in this whole entire world, and you never know what the fuck they're doing. Probably because they're secret intelligence. And it's just, I can't wait to see what role they play. I think they're gonna kind of play just the role of just sitting there and seeing what happens. But it'll be very interesting if they get like caught up into something. Um, Maybe Orochi tries to kill them. That could be the case, and then they kill Orochi finally. That would be kind of lame, not gonna lie, if Orochi falls to CP0. But it kind of maybe that could be the case. Yeah, CP0, CP0 dude who was mainly talking to that. He's so cool. What a great design. I think that really close up to him. I feel like we've only gotten like far away panels of him, but we got a really good close up. Like that close up, he looks so menacing and like just cool. And I loved his design. His design's always been cool. All the CP0 designs have been very interesting and cool. And his is definitely growing on me a lot. Yeah, I would love to see what's going on there. And they want Kaido and Big Mom to fall right now. It's basically stated that they want the pirates to win. Even though both sides are pirates, maybe that's just a mistranslation, and that'll be better in the Viz translation. What pirates they want to win. But yeah, Kaido and Big Mom, I think they really want them to fall. It's very obvious, and like, yeah, of course they want them to fall, because if they both Yonko fell, then like the Marines and the world government would be like chilling. They'd be straight chilling. Literally, they could focus both of all their efforts into like either Blackbeard or Shanks, or just mainly Blackbeard, because we have no fucking clue what's going on with Shanks and their connection with them, and like then they would have just like one Yonko. I guess there's also Luffy, but Luffy is definitely not on their level currently. Like they can't. There's no chance that Luffy could be either of these two Yonko that's on top of their 1-on-1. It's that's why there's multiple people up there, and that's why multiple people are struggling against these two. So yeah, it's interesting that like how at the end of this arc the world government will perceive this battle. If Luffy wins, then basically it creates a new Yonko, but there's two Yonko fallen, so they have probably more power in the end of the day because of it. Yeah, it's definitely looking like good for the world government, because they're doing their own little things because of the reverie that we don't know yet. There needs to be another cleansing, and two Yonko are falling, so it seems kind of like stuff's kind of falling on their lap while they're making moves. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, so the CP0 people talk about the numbers of each side and how kind of like the resistance are kind of outnumbered and backed into kind of a corner, or kind of like surrounded. And then they mentioned that just killing the top dog isn't going to do anything. They need to defeat the 10 Toby Roppo, not 10 Roppo, the Toby Roppo, the 6, I think, the Flying 6. There you go. That's the English version of that. Yeah, they had to defeat the Toby Roppo to really like win. And we got this cool like what's kind of going on like with everybody, all the Toby Roppo and the Straw Hats that are currently fighting them or near them in the case of Sanji. And yeah, I think it's true. But he said it's true. And I hope we see that board game again later on, or maybe just at the end, where it's all white instead of black, and it's like, whoa, they somehow pulled it off and all the pieces are white. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool if they were able to do that. I think that's why he kind of like maybe Oda showed that so that he could show it later on. It's like completely like all those black pieces that are surrounding those little like couple white pieces are like all white now. That would be really cool to see. I think that would be kind of an Oda thing to kind of throw in there at the end of the arc. Yeah, that would be pretty sick. Alright, and then the end of the chapter, the big reveal. Yeah, Kaido's hybrid. Kaido's hybrid's gonna be revealed either next chapter, most likely next chapter. We're gonna see Kaido's hybrid form, which is kind of crazy. That's already happening, but also like, why hasn't happened yet? We're gonna finally see it next chapter. No break next week. Also, no break next week, which is kind of crazy. Also, no break next week. We're gonna see Kaido's hybrid, hopefully. And I think next chapter is gonna be more Toby Roppo focused, and at the end it's gonna be like Kaido's reveal, hybrid form. Yeah, I think we're gonna catch up with the other Straw Hats and what's going on with around the war. And at the end we're gonna like have the big reveal of what Kaido's hybrid looks like. But either that's just my speculation. It could be completely different. We could be completely focusing only on the top of Onigashima again, but I doubt it. It would be kind of weird if we only focus really primarily on the top of Onigashima for that long. It's not really Oda style, I feel like. Yeah, we're gonna jump around like a little bit, I feel like, next chapter. But I think that's pretty cool. I think it'll be interesting. Let's see what's going on with my man Jinbei, and who's who. I'm very excited to see that fight. Yeah. Next chapter is gonna focus on those battles, I think. But I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, just hit the fucking like. Subscribe if you want. Most likely you don't, but that would be greatly appreciated if you did. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice rest of your day, and peace.